Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the ELP-208 DU. This is a latch protector, cylinder plate for electric strike. It's a latch guard is what we would call it, and here's one removed from the packaging. It's an electric latch protector, ELP-208. That's more of a reference to the size. When you see the 8 versus a 12, it gives you an idea of what its size is. Okay. Now this model specifically is going to be very well suited for an application where you have a electric strike, which is what it's intended for. And the tip-off here is this concave or recessed type area, so that when the door closes, the jutting out of the electric strike lip extension has a place to rest inside of here. Now, electric strikes are generally fairly notorious for being able to loid, at least in my experience, on many of them, and the ability to cover up the area between the keeper and the latch that's sitting inside of there, where you might be able to push the door in and get the deadlocking tab to fall in and then loid the entire latch back, or just pull it open or spread the opening open. This is extremely helpful at keeping tools away from that area. In fact, you can't even see the area with this, is what this is really going to be for. This also has a recessed area here where the head of a mortise cylinder would work out really well. And depending on the application, this may be perfect for aluminum storefront, and it might be perfect for, well, I'm thinking aluminum storefront is where this is going to be mostly ideal for. That cylinder, you could certainly use this on a mortise lock as well, depending on whether or not the location of all of that worked out. I don't think it is. Let's take a look. Yeah, this might be really good for a mortise lock, in the sense that this recessed area is where the lip of your strike can fall into. So let's take some dimensional properties of this, and then we'll talk about what we think based on that this is actually used for. So an overall width, it's about 3 3/4. Its overall height looks like it's going to be 8 inch as predicted. The inside recessed area in terms of its width looks like it's about 1.5 inches. The overall height of that is probably about 7 3/4. Sure. The overall depth of that now looks like it's comfortably about 9/16. Okay, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. Now, a dimension that might be important to consider is what would be the edge of the door to the center line of this cylinder. So if we're assuming it's 2 3/4, you can see I'm going to be pretty far over to get that at 2 3/4. I'm going to be all the way back over here, so this really may not be very appropriate for that. And in fact, with the lip of a curved lip strike, this would probably not be suitable whatsoever. This recessed area may be able to allow you to sit the cylinder inside of here if it was extremely flush, but I don't think that's really going to be the case. So what you might need to do is install your cylinder on the exterior of the latch protector by possibly removing a trim ring or a cylinder guard, allowing you to get that installed right on the outside of this. But covering that gap is the key. This is this screw package has a rivet and a carriage bolt with a flat washer and an acorn nut. The rivet is going to be put in one of these places. It is something that you're going to drill a hole, you're going to set the rivet into, and then you're going to smack that down a little bit. Obviously, you're going to want to be mindful as you're hammering in a rivet to not break the glass. Glass and aluminum and hammering, of course, don't go together. But it is a rivet, and it is meant to be a very one-way, secure type of way to install a latch protector. You literally have to destroy the installation in order to get that rivet off and the latch protector off. And while backing a car into a door is going to crush it in, allowing people to rip the door off the hinges. Hardware is meant to, within reason, secure everything. Anything can be destroyed. As we say in our business, firemen walk around with that universal key, that master key, that universal master key. That's the axe that gets them in. This weighs 2.15 pound, by the way, and it is steel. This is in the DU finish, which is a powder-coated dark bronze, is what it's for. So you've got all the dimensions. I'm thinking aluminum storefront. Now, talking about aluminum storefront, the question again becomes, what's the back set? So aluminum storefront locks are 15/16, inch and an eighth, things of that nature. So I would think that this would be appropriate for not less than an inch and an eighth. Nothing less than an inch and an eighth. This would be appropriate for something that's 15/16 back set. I think it's going to be pushed out too far, and your strike's going to hit inside of here. So inch and an eighth, something in that range. Now, what could be a maximum dimension as well? There are inch and a half back set locks as well. That would work. That should work out pretty well as in addition to what we were talking about earlier. Okay, let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at all of the supporting documentation. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here is the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at some photographs that we have uploaded as well. There's the label on the packaging, the contents, and then different perspectives showing the item itself. That's the back side of the unit. And then your fastener package. And there's your fastener package, the carriage bolt, the flat washer, and the acorn nut with the rivet. All right, now in this item itself, we've got an extended description. Latch protector cylinder plate, electric strike application, 12-gauge steel. Available with or without the cylinder hole? Absolutely. You might have an electric strike with nothing other than it could be lots of things. It could be a rim exit device where you want to protect that. Anywhere where you need to protect the latch, you might have an application where you do have a rim exit device on the door. Pardon me, you wouldn't use, forgive me, not a rim exit device. You would not have a rim exit with this. But you could simply have an application where you don't need key access from the outside. It might be a door that is not emergency egress, that you have no need to come in with a key, but there's still an electric strike so that you can buzz people in through a door. Could be lots of things. So let's look at the template of this. Dimensions completely encases the keeper for maximum protection. The template. Let's take a look. Okay, here's that template. Got the dimensions on the cylinder from the edge of the plate over, which to me doesn't really, it's important to know that, but what's more important is this dimension, which is 7/8. You can see that, well, we assume it's 7/8, or it's very close. 1/8 offset that's happening here. It's really not enough to fit a cylinder under. Pocket clearance, 7/8 of an inch, 8-inch overall height, 3 and 11/16 basically. That cylinder hole's in the center. There's also a link to the product catalog. Let's take a look at that document as well. And this will allow us to review. Let's just search for ELP-208. Here it is, on a table with its other items. ELP-208. 3.5 by 8 shown here. The ELP-208P is the no cylinder hole version, as referenced right here. Made of steel. The different finishes are listed: DU and SL for silver, Duro powder coat or silver powder coated. The rest of the catalog is really handy because it allows you to review all of the latch protectors. And in fact, unless I know exactly the latch protector that the client needs, I go to the catalog as an idea book, something to help me determine the proper part number for the client's application. There's lots of, there's a dozen pages in this catalog and scores of different latch protectors, so it's nothing, it's not meant to keep all this memorized. But you'll determine what's the right application. Is it in swing or out swing? Start with that. What's the lock type? Select one that's most appropriate for the lock type. The height is something that you can generally toy with. The finish, obviously, and that will get you very close. And this catalog allows you to help determine all of that, what the proper application is. If you're dealing with an electric strike, go right to the section with electric strikes. And as we scroll through, you can see different applications of this material. And Don-Jo has a very comprehensive offering of material. Mag, who went out of business several years ago, had a couple of unique items, but Don-Jo's got it pretty well covered. Now, speaking of pretty well covered, there's a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, and from here you can pull up not only all of the Don-Jo products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, and also a link to the manufacturer's product catalog, as well as the subsections of that product catalog. Don-Jo does not just make latch protectors. They have wraparound plates, which is what they are known for as well. They have extended lip strike plates as well. They have bolts and latches, and door pivots, and ladder pulls. They have accessory items like filler plates and mounting tabs and signage, door stops, holders, and bumpers, push plates, things of that nature. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. In conclusion, if you have any questions on the ELP-208 and the DU finish or any other Don-Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. They have a unique footprint within the industry of the products that they sell. They do custom, I was going to say, I wasn't thinking custom, but they do custom lip length strikes. They have a comprehensive offering of extended lip strike plates and many other items. So if you know the name Don-Jo, it's for the wraparound, U-shaped door reinforcers, or its latch protectors. But again, all of those other items that are there are for your review. Any questions on that ELP-208 or any other Don-Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.